There you are.
Sarah, are you okay?
Yeah?
Has anyone come in here?
No, who would come in here?
Don't go near the doors. Just stand back there.
Dad, you're kind of freaking me out. What's going on?
It's the Coopers. Something ain't right with them. I think they're sick.
What kind of sick?
Jeez. Jimmy!
Dad?
Honey, come here. Come here. Jimmy! Jimmy, stay back! Jimmy, I am warning you! Don't!
You shot him.
Sarah.
I saw him this morning.
Listen to me. There is something bad going on. And we have got to get out of here. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
Tell me, come on. Come on.
Last of Us is one of my most favorite games that I ever played. There, in the review. Let's back up a bit. I'm sure you want to know about the story and what makes it such an unforgettable game. Last of Us stars two main protagonists, Ellie and Joel, caught up in a world that's been attacked by a virus of unknown origin. You might find clues as to its onset early on, but for the most part, you the player never really know how it started. The game starts you off playing as Joel's daughter Sarah, who's stricken by the suddenness of the outbreak, and without spoiling anything, sets the backdrop for the real main character, one of the two named Joel Miller.
Well, I have some interesting news for you.
Where were you, Tess?
West End District. Hey, we had a drop to make.
We had a drop to make.
Well, you wanted to be left alone, remember?
So I'll take one guess. The whole deal went south and the client made off with our pills. Is that about right?
Deal went off without a hitch. Enough ration cards to last us a couple of months, easy.
You want to explain this?
I was on my way back here, and I got jumped by these two assholes, all right? And yeah, they got a few good hits in, but... Look, I managed.
Give me that. Are these assholes still with us?
That's funny.
At least find out who they were.
Yeah, look, they were a couple of nobodies. They don't matter. What matters is that Robert fucking sent them.
Our Robert.
He knows that we're after him. He figures he's gonna get us first.
Son of a bitch, he's smart.
The story of The Last of Us mainly takes place 20 years after what originally occurred in the beginning sequence, and for good reason. It leaves you with a glimpse of a future where humanity is on the brink of extinction.
All right, move on through.
Thanks.
Get out of here! Close it off! Firefly!
By what you come to find out is the cordyceps virus.
My mask broke. Don't leave me to turn. Please.
What do you want to do?
The virus infects motor and nervous functions within 24 to 48 hours of transmission via bite or spore inhalation. You first see Joel meet up with a woman named Tess, and together the two venture out on a mission to get some revenge, which ultimately succeeds, but mainly serves as a plot device for meeting with Marlene.
You're looking so hot. Where's Robert?
I needed him alive.
The guns he gave you, they weren't his to sell. I want them back.
Doesn't work like that, Tess.
The hell it doesn't.
I paid for those guns. You want them back? You're gonna have to earn them.
The leader of a rogue band of revolutionaries called the Fireflies. She contracts you and your partner Tess to take on a little girl and smuggle her away from Boston on a search for a Firefly camp far away in return for missing guns and ammo you originally sought revenge for in the first place. What happens after is a tale of heroism and sacrifice that should really be experienced by you, the player, over the course of its 10 to 13 hour campaign.
What are you doing?
Killing time.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
I am sure you will figure that out.
Your watch is broken. You mumble in your sleep. I hate bad dreams.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I've never been this close to the outside. I mean, look how dark it is. Can't be any worse out there. Can it?
What on earth do the Fireflies want with you?
Last of Us Remastered is a remastering of a game that originally came out in 2013. The original game was supposed to be announced before Uncharted 3 Drake's Fortune. For those who played it, you might notice Easter eggs in that game, not depicted here in this review, which served as a teaser. The cordyceps virus is actually based on a real fungal infection that takes place in ants, similar to how it behaves in the game.
Like something out of science fiction. The fungus is so virulent, it can wipe out whole colonies of ants. And it's not just ants that fall victim to this killer.
All told, Last of Us has won many awards, including BAFTA Games Awards, including Best Performer, Ashley Johnson, for playing Ellie, Best Game, and Best Story by Bruce Straley and Neil Druckmann. What struck me the most while playing was the condition of the world you find it in. Most cars don't run anymore and are unserviceable, but some leave behind clues as to what the world used to be. Other times you might find writings on the walls depicting altercations and conflicts among townsfolk who struggled with surviving the early days of the outbreak.
We'll shoot on sight. Lots of friendly people lived here. First few months after the outbreak, they had a lot of looting. Everyone got paranoid. You remember any of that, Joel?
Yeah, everyone barricaded themselves in their homes. And supplies started running low. That's when you saw what people are really capable of.
But interestingly enough, Ellie, who is the subject of the smuggling Joel and Tess are contracted for, really doesn't know what the world used to be like. All of her life she lived in a quarantine zone, and since 20 years passed since the original outbreak, she's not old enough to have experienced the outside world.
What is this?
Oh, this is an ice cream truck.
An ice cream truck?
Yeah, Henry told me about these. They sell ice cream out of the truck.
What? No way. Joel?
That's true. This thing would drive around and play real loud, creepy music, and kids would come running out to buy ice cream.
You're totally fucking with me.
I'm serious.
Man, you lived in a strange time.
Told you so.
You'll get to see Joel's perspective change gradually as he spends more time with Ellie. You might notice that he keeps his broken watch on his wrist, and that's to remind him of what was important to him even when he tries to forget. As you spend more time with these characters, you feel a sense of belonging, like you're a passenger inside a train where some passengers get on and some passengers get off, but the same two are usually there just chatting to one another and you get to listen. Yes!
I thought that somehow I could escape from it all. Like someone would come and lift me out of my miserable, boring life. Like it was all a bad dream.
Throughout the 8 to 13 hour campaign, the graphics are a real showstopper as well as the audio. The crackle of gunfire and explosions are all very punchy, and weapons deliver a satisfying degree of damage whenever you make a direct hit. Infected shamble towards you in believable ways that show they've lost their humanity, and when you hit them, your punches are well choreographed with high degrees of realism throughout. Joel isn't some martial artist, but he can throw a punch like the rest of us. Even Ellie will come to your rescue when she sees an opportunity to strike. Now's not the time to read. So cool. This uses an in-house engine developed by Naughty Dog that at the time pushed the PS3 to its limits. But what you're seeing is actually the PS4 remastered version, which adds a few subtle tweaks to the original formula. Those subtle tweaks are HDR, 4K checkerboard rendering, and 60 FPS max frame rate, which the 7th generation couldn't support all at once. I played this on the PS5 and noticed no drops in frame rate and much improved loading times. I specifically remember not being able to grab a drink because the game would be done loading before I finished closing the lid. The gameplay is a mix of Uncharted and Resident Evil 4, I'd say. I say that because some parts resolve themselves with a gunfight or a fist, but oftentimes you'll find yourself managing resources and crafting upgrades to better prepare yourself for the next encounter. Not all the enemies function on the same rolling patterns as the others. For example, runners will do as their namesake suggests, which is run at you when they detect motion or sound. This is different from clickers, which use sound only to detect your location and are an evolved form of the runners when the infection has seeded into its host long enough. Lastly, there are bloaters, which derive their name from their physical size and presence and are the ultimate infected. You'll need to adapt quickly depending on the situation you're in, like a kind of chess match, which makes the gameplay more dynamic. Now, you might have noticed I don't have a lot of bad things to say, because there aren't really any at all that stuck out in my mind. I mean, some things I noticed that weren't the greatest are that some puzzles in the game are repetitive, whether it be finding a container or a pallet used to get to a point on higher ground. But to say it detracted from the game in my experience would be a lie. Puzzles come and go so quickly throughout the adventure that they only serve as a minor impedance to overcome on your way to the next story beat. Another thing I noticed during my playthrough was how often I ran out of shivs. Shivs are easily the most important item for stealth runs, and if you find a locked door, the only way to open them to get amazing loot behind it is to use one whole shiv. I felt like this mechanic could have been improved with another craftable item, that being a lockpick. If we could have crafted lockpicks, then we wouldn't have to waste our shivs opening doors when we could have saved them for a clicker instead. In conclusion, I found myself really enjoying the entire package overall. From start to finish, this game was fun, even without any multiplayer. Although this game does have multiplayer, I didn't play it. For me, I have a PlayStation Plus account and I received the game for free, but usually it goes for $19.99, give or take. But when it's on sale, it might be only $9.99. For either price, I would highly recommend it. It's very short considering it's not open world, and the story left a strong impression on me. If you're looking for something to play in the summer while you wait for the next new game to come out, let this be
pizza?
the one to play.
Never mind, it was too cheesy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, me neither. What did the green grape say to the purple grape? Breathe, you idiot.
That's so stupid.